I want to use this opportunity and welcome you to Nigeria M365 community. In this community, we discuss and have section on everything you need to know about Microsoft 365, ranging from Office 365, Enterprise Mobility and Windows, Copilot, and etc. So in this section, we started our Copilot series. We started last week. And if you missed the one we had last week, please go back to our YouTube channel and watch it. You are going to get great value. I want to officially welcome you to our bi-weekly section. And for today, we'll be diving deep into Copilot integration in everyday Microsoft productivity tools. So please, if you can join me, if you can hear me wherever you're joining, please let me know in the comment section that you can hear me so I can proceed. Like I said in our last section, we have started our Copilot series, which will run for 3 months. All right. So the last time we dive deep into Copilot, talking about grounding, talking about prompting, talking about pages in Copilot. Someone's mic is not muted. Can you please mute your mic? All right. Like I said, in the section today, we'll be speaking about Copilot integration in everyday Microsoft productivity tools. And before we go into that, I would like to briefly introduce myself. My name is Juliet. I'm the moderator for this section today. I'm a tech and data literacy advocate. I also specialize in data analytics and data governance. I've had varied experience in different roles and industry. I am also one of the leaders in the Nigeria M365 community. And with me here that will be speaking in our section today is Paul Ogboriefor. He will be going through the topic with us. And if you join our last section, he is someone that you would love to listen to because he dives deep into Copilot and shares all the things and the tools you need to know about the Copilot series. So I will read through his profile briefly so you get to understand who he is. So Paul is a community product and cloud and platform engineer with a company that partners with Microsoft, and he is currently a 2-time Microsoft MVP. He also he was previously recognized as M365 MVP, which reflects his continued growth and contribution across the Microsoft ecosystem. Beyond his day-to-day job, Paul is a community leader who is very passionate about giving back to the Microsoft community. As an active contributor to the Microsoft 365 community, he regularly shares his practical knowledge, mentors aspiring professionals, and deliver technical sections that help individuals and organizations maximize the value of Microsoft technology. Paul believes that strong communities are built by professionals who are committed to sharing their knowledge and lifting others, which is what we actively do in the Microsoft 365, Nigeria 365 community group. Another person I would want you to get to know is our founder, Olajumoke Toriola, who is the Chief Technology Officer at Hashim, and also the one of the leaders and founding members of the M365, Nigeria M365 community. She has more than 18 years of progressive experience in IT and services industry and has superior expertise in developing, implementing, and supporting complex infrastructures and technical solutions for various industry verticals. He is a Microsoft certified trainer, an MVP in 365 and Services Award category, and a co-founder of Textilers. I'm aware that if you're an active member of our community and if you've used if you have attended most of our section, you will hear more about Olajumoke. So a few ground rules we all need to be aware in this section. First of all, please be aware that this section will be recorded and will be made available for future viewing kindly mute your microphone when you are not talking, and then pen down your question until the question and answer section. You can also drop your question on the question and answer section, which will be answered at the end of this section. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will also provide link for you to share your feedback with us. So I look forward to all of you. Please pay attention to the speaker, and we look forward to having a good time in this section. So I want to officially welcome our speaker for this section, which is in the name of Paul Ogboriefor. You're welcome, Mr. Paul.
Hi, Juliet. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. Rafia, I see you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with you all again after a very long time. It's 2 weeks already. So we've had a week of playing around, and then it's time to convene again and see what we can possibly do today. All right. Thank you very much, Juliet, for the warm welcome, the introduction, and all. It was amazing. As a matter of fact, some points I wasn't believing myself, but then, yeah, that is who we are, and then we are here again. All right, brethren, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to share my screen at this point. And then if you can see my screen, please do me a favor by just raising a thumbs up so we can proceed. All right, yeah, thank you. Okay, as rightly said, our session today is going to be a continuation of what we had the last time when Copilot 365, Microsoft 365 Copilot was introduced to us. We talked about a lot of things where we cover both what charts and then the work integration is. We talk about the grounding. We even went as far as even checking agents, and then we did a little demo it. And today, right on it, will be dealing on this topic right here. The topic says, sorry, 1 minute. Okay, the topic says Copilot integration into our everyday Microsoft productivity tools. So at the top of our heads, we want to probably ask, what are those productivity tools? You know, when this question come across your mind, just think about those things you basically use your computer to do almost every day, if not every day, all the time, either as a student, um, in the corporate environment, working, even as a secretary, just name it, those basic applications you use every day, provided you move past the era of book and pen and paper on the table, right? You now want to talk about Word application, you want to talk about Microsoft Excel, you want to talk about Microsoft PowerPoint, anything at all, just name it, right, within Microsoft application, and how Copilot can help you to be more productive right within this application. So this is the second module of our bi-weekly series on Microsoft 365 Copilot. And then, God's willing, we'll do a quick practical look at how this application or this tool shows up across every other Microsoft productivity tools. To begin, I would love to show us the roadmap for our session today and what we'll be covering in this session. We'll start with the big picture. We'll see how Copilot will connect everyday application into one work experience. Review house by house scenarios. We'll look into each of the houses that I've aforementioned and even more. And then we'll see how the workflow connects. Then again, we cannot overemphasize the use of a better prompt, which we've actually made a lot of emphasis on the last time. We will not just overlook the essence even in this series and even in the coming series. The truth is, when you are dealing with AI tools, your strongest point lies within your prompts. The better your prompts, the stronger the output, and the weaker your prompt, then you should be expecting a much weaker, results, right? So rather than blaming the tool you are using, first of all, analyze your prompts and then check it and do a comparison with what you are having as output. Adoption responsibility. We talked much on this the last time as well. Anything cloud at all, when you are dealing on cloud, you do not for any reason rule out the essence of security. So it's something that you must actually pay close attention to. And security permission, talking about authentication and authorization, like we were told in Entra ID, are one of those things that Copilot respects so much when it comes to its usage. Okay, so yeah, we'll just take a quick look at some of these applications that your Copilot can actually integrate with and then makes work easier within. For example, we have the Microsoft Word. It can help you draft, rewrite documents, and what have you. And we have the Outlook. It can help you summarize your trend, draft replies, uh, just everything that you need to do. For example, it can highlight emails that needs your urgent attention, can highlight emails that you've not responded to, or read emails, the ones that you've read and not responded to, the ones, anything at all that you can just think of out of your head. You can even do a kind of scheduling, automation using Copilot still to help you drive productivity within Outlook. And then in Teams, this meeting is recorded, for example, is a Teams feature. But Microsoft Copilot can help you to use that meeting note to have a kind of summary, let's say executive summary now, and then it will help structure it and then even help you from there. You can connect it to your Outlook. It will now help you to draft a very beautiful, well enticing, and captivating email to share. I mean, anybody that will see, if you are able to follow the workflow accurately, you see anybody that tends to see the end result will be very, very, very much impressed by what you are doing. All right. And this is not Copilot replacing you, as the case may be. Like maybe you are now being over reliant on Copilots to just do everything for you, and you are just, because you understand the flow, you are just doing click and next, click and next, click and next, and you quickly what you are in a hurry to submit what you have. So because I said anybody who is getting your output would be impressed by you, by what you have given. So you are in a hurry to get that impression. No, most of the time you might just be wrong. So it is also very, very important to take accountability for whatsoever you are sending in terms of review. That is where your human intelligence will comes in. You have to take your time, you read through, you refine, you enhance, whatsoever, right? You make sure what you want to give out as an output perfectly capture what you have already. Again, PowerPoint, of course, very beautiful. This is one of the places you would use Copilot and then you just be smiling. All you just need to do is to just bring whatsoever are there you have in your head and wait for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then you just see a magic happening. Probably PowerPoint, you wouldn't be able to probably prepare on your own, or something that will probably are taking you a lot of time. Boom, 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 you are there, right? And then in Excel, it can help you. But I think is most useful, especially for those guys that are into data analysis, when you want to, even if you don't really have those in-depth knowledge of analyzing data, to an extent, Copilot can expand your knowledge on that and help you do a form of calculation, help you just pull things up and in order for your own understanding. Then for OneNote, we all know we all know what OneNote is. For example, in this session, some people may decide, okay, person like me, I don't remember using campaign for the longest, right? And yet I write a lot. Is either I use Notepad. Notepad is mostly local. So you can take OneNote as your digital notepad in the sense that it's cloud-based and then is as you go, it saves as you go, right? And it can be broken down and classified just like a proper notebook as you have page one, page two. OneNote has all of that, right? So Copilot inside OneNote can just help you do a kind of summary. It's even like authoring co-work with colleagues and all, right? So Copilot can also be very, very useful within OneNote. The same thing, Loop now is let's take let's also look at Loop as a platform where tasks are being organized. Let's say I have a task to complete, you have a task to complete, and then we want to schedule them and properly organize those tasks and follow up with them. You can use Loop, and Copilot can help you not to be biased in while using your Loop, right? Then SharePoint, then you can have a bunch of files in a particular folder. And right on the folder, you can just ask a simple question like, hey, help me summarize all the files that are in this folder. And it just give it to you. It can be on a folder base, it can be on the application, on the file base. It can as well be even as wide as site base. Ask questions about full site, and Copilot will be there to just give you the answer and give you detailed and correct answer, right? Based on the context of that SharePoint. You can even create an agent directly from SharePoint that will be integrated into that particular SharePoint. Same thing as OneDrive. I can relate the usage of SharePoint and OneDrive almost together. The difference is OneDrive is personal to you, while SharePoint is for collaboration within teams, right? And if we go further, we see co-pilots in Word. Though a lot of this we've spoken about them, so from here going forward, we'll just be taking a snap at them just so we can beat our time. So what can Copilot do for you in Word? Microsoft Word is one of the most natural places you can actually see Copilot, right? Uh, Sometimes you are just given a task to do. Most of us we spend a lot of time trying to see how we can start. You can even draft the first line. You'll be like, nah, 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 nah. You've gotten to the third line. You see you are not aligning. Then you want to go back, start all over again. No, Copilot can actually help you generate a strong first draft. Strong draft in the sense that I call it draft because this should not be a good tool at once, right? There is always room for improving the structure, writing the content, and trust me, it's always very, very quick. Then it becomes more useful when it works with an existing source. We were talking about source the last time as a place where Copilot go to pull information from when we're talking about grounding, right? That is the source where it gets reports. Let's say you have a report, meeting notes, whatsoever, you just ground them into it, and then before you know it, Copilot will be able to give you a very, very, very good output. Okay, so one of those, like almost every of the slides you will see here, you see a prompt idea. This one says, using this report, draft a one-page executive summary for leadership with risk, opportunities, and next action. Let's say you have a particular report that, hey, you just want to, put in summary to send to your management. Okay, so we talk about co-piloting. Outlook, again, is if you work with corporate organization, Outlook is one thing you can never ever do away with, even for a singular day. Even on weekends, you are sometimes you are still tempted to check your mails. There could be something that you will probably you are expecting, and then you just want to quickly check. So arguably, Outlook generally is something you cannot do without. So now, because of this, email trends can become long, especially if you don't follow up with them as much as possible, or when you are a top manager in an organization, for example, in the sense that you receive multiple emails, you talk about repetition or difficulty to just follow up because of the bunches of emails you are having or receiving on a daily. Copilot can help you summarize key points in emails, identify decision, highlight actions, items. It can also take draft a reply. It just makes things easy for you, especially when you need to probably respond professionally and clearly under time pressure, most especially. So when you are pressured, you don't actually need to panic. All you just need to do, take a breath, sit back, relax, and then go to, I call Copilot my partner, right? My productivity partner. You partner with it, and as much as you are not nervous, you can take your time to actually run through what you want to do. Okay, you see the prompt here, following the message trend, and then you say summarize and draft a professional reply that confirms the next steps and what. Hold now. If we now go to themes, so like we are on this call now, Teams is another thing we are using to converge together like this, right? And in a corporate environment, you need to be on call. It is not negotiable. You have to, as a matter of fact. People will need you that are not present. You will need people that are not present. You need to meet with clients, whichever way you must be, right? So it's one of those closest or clear collaboration tool that we use, and it's one of those that we can use best for this scenario in terms of Copilot usage. If you're just as you're on this meeting now, we'll be talking for about 2 hours. It will generate a lot of reports, a lot, because you are transcribing, right? A lot. And then we may end up forgetting the details. We may not be able to actually point out details that are needed where you want to go through all the transcripts. Because if I cough and the transcript understand it in, let's say, in the language, let's say I just said something casually, it's going to capture it and you may not need it, right? So you can just go to Copilot and say, okay, summarize the discussion, identify the key decision, right? Extract actions that are action items, and even, draft a mail for me to say, okay, I want to follow up with all the people that attended this meeting today. What should I send to them? Okay, I want to send a mail to them based on certain contents. How should it go? Then it will be able to, from that meeting note, gives you everything, as you can see on this, prompt idea, right? It is also useful when someone joined the meeting late, for example, and then you probably have missed some key discussion during the meeting. You can ask Copilots to provide you a quick catch-up, right? And then before you know, it will quickly help you catch up with the rest of the people that have joined the meeting for the longest. Now, the major business value here is one, speed, two, clarity. Now, instead of, I know like this call is recorded, it will be published to us. Sometimes, rather than taking all the time to try to listen to 2 hours recording again, right? Or reading through all the transcript, you can move faster and then you read quickly, and before you know, you move past a lot of persons that want to take their time to, actually see what they can do. And they might not be factually accurate like you, who co-pilots are assisting. So for PowerPoint, um, first things first, you create outline, right? You first of all need to have a topic. If you do not have a topic, have a file you want to reference, source file into a structured presentation draft. Have something you want to talk about or have something you want to present. That is very, very important because you cannot just come out of the blue and say, hey, just do nothing, right? So what it does for you is it moves that content, that your own content now at the top of your head. It turns it into a communication. Just like this presentation I am on now, we had a discussion internally to say, okay, you are going to discuss on Copilot in your everyday productivity application, right? It is a context, is a content that we want to discuss, that we want to push out. Now, today, it has turned to communication between me and you that are listening. And I'll tell you that majority of the work here are not even done by me, to be very, very honest with you. Copilot does just by simple prompt, right? Help me do this and that, put this into this, put this together. Okay, help me adjust this to that. Okay, fix this, fix this. Then on my own, I come and say, okay, I don't like this position. Okay, come like this. Oh, you are too close here. Just minor adjustment. Before you know, we have this. So, like most of us already know what we want to say, but sometimes to put it, sometimes we don't even have the skill set to actually put this thing in a way that it will be, you know, captivating in a way, right? So if you have all of these, if you have all the idea in your head and all, Copilot can just help you turn it into a perfect done between you and your audience. Don't forget, review. I would always make emphasis on this. Review is always very important, right? Like I said, I made some adjustments. That is just a simple review that is needed. Now in Excel, so if you come to corporate organization and you want to talk about Excel most of the time is, is where the business information becomes important and more difficult, especially for non-expert users. As I was talking about, making examples of data analysis, right? If you do not have that, if you are not expertise in that area, data will be very, very difficult for you, and Excel may be difficult for you to use, right? Now, most of us may see numbers, but may not be able to understand or interpret them immediately or the story behind them. Now, what Copilot will help you do is Copilot will explain the pattern for you. It will help you highlight anomalies, describe relationship, and assisting with formulas or next analytical steps, right? All you just need to do is patience and your prompts, and to be able to highlight where you want actions to be taken. Now, with this now, with Copilot, right, it makes Excel more approachable, especially for users that need insights, right? I'm not talking about advanced analysis, so leave those on for professionals. But let's say an analyst has presented something to you and you are not getting full understanding of it. Copilot can just, quickly help you get the necessary insight that you need to get into those data. So basically, it can help you bridge the gap between raw data and, business understanding. If we are moving next, okay, for example, there's a prompt here again. Prompts are there. Analyze the table, explain the top trends, and recommend 3 actions based on their results. So we come to OneNote, and then we come to Loop. We'll be addressing these together. These two, basically, they tend to form a very fast moving collaboration tool. Now, I was talking about notes in earlier when I said I can't remember the last time I placed pen on book to say I want to. When you're in the meeting,
Hi, Paul. I can't seem to hear you, or is it just me?
Same here.
All right. Hello, Paul. We can't hear you. Thanks. The speaker would work on his mic. So please give us a few time while he works on it, because I can't hear him too. Hi, Paul. Are you still in here? All right, thank you. So the speaker just dropped and he will come back. I'm going to use this opportunity. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube, I'm going to send it quickly for you to subscribe because it has some of our most of our pre-recorded sections are there.
Hi,
And
Juliet. Can you
oh,
hear me?
you're welcome. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, so sorry. My network, I don't know, my system is just trying to crumble. I've just connected with my phone. I'm trying to jump back now.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
While he connects, I just posted our YouTube channel. You can subscribe, and this is where you will see all of our videos posted.
Can you hear me now, Juliet?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Oh, perfect. Cool. Thank you. All right. Please confirm if you can see my screen already.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. So sorry, guys. These things happen like this sometimes. Yeah. So we were here, and then please confirm if you follow me to this point. Hi, Juliet.
Yes.
Did you follow me to this point?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Up to
okay.
OneNote.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So for OneNote and the loop, I was saying that as of today, they are fast moving collaborative tools. And then as I was making reference to OneNote earlier on, I was saying we mostly take notes with them. And when you are taking notes, especially in a meeting, you don't really pay attention to your grammar. You don't pay attention to details. Like you just want to take the key point in that conversation. So sometimes OneNote can be rough because you just quickly want to get this, get that from here, right? At the end of the day, Copilot, after you have after you have put together all your notes, Copilot can help you organize the note and then make it very clearer and clean, and even list out actions that you'll be needing. Then Loop now brings a more fluid, collaborative experience where content is live and reusable across Microsoft 365 Copilot or Microsoft 365 as a whole. So Copilot itself as a tool can then help you as value by helping people shape their content faster before they share it. And yes, we want to talk about Copilot in SharePoint and OneDrive. Earlier, I said we can actually relate the usage of these two together. These are the major business sources, right? Okay, my screen should stop sharing right now. Okay, so Copilot, these two, as I was saying, are the two major documents library that we have in Microsoft 365. They help you save up your contents. That is where they are stored. And from then you share to people that need to have access to those contents. They help you save up your file, right? Now, Right on these tools, which is SharePoint and OneDrive, you can highlight application files, and then you send an action to them through Copilot, and then it will help you to execute those actions by giving you what you actually want, giving you key insights to those documents. For example, let's say there's a particular folder where you just store documents, relative documents actually, and then because you need to explain to somebody, let's say it's a pitch deck, right, that you need to explain to somebody, and you may not have all the time in the world to start going through them one after the other. You can just go to a corner, you go to Copilot, and then quickly you just say, hey, please, I need, you just say, hey, please, I need a summary of this. How can I present this to a client? And this is who the client is, and this is what we are aiming to achieve at the end of the day. When you do that, just from there, Copilot will be able to summarize the full files that are there and then give you the output that you would share with your client. Now, if you check this prompt, they say using the files in this folder, summarize the main themes and create a brief readiness update. I think it quite resonates well with what I have said. So, okay, so if we are continuing, we have planner, we have to do. This is to actually track your plans. And then you have forms in the daily workflow. Now, forms, like we know, like we just said, a form will be sent out for us to give our feedback, right? So if you want to create a form, I remember where we created some forms recently, even for M365 community and the last mentorship program. When doing all of those, you don't actually need to start the design from the top of your head to say you want to move this here, or you want to move that here. No, all you just needed was, hey, I need what's it called? I need a form. It's for XYZ audience, and is coming from this. This is the goal, and this is why we are pushing out this form. Then, before you know it, it will be able to, give you a very beautiful and outstanding form, right? Planner support task planning, assignments, and progress tracking for teams. To do support personal task capture priority flow for follow through, then form support, information, survey quizzes, and structure input. Just imagine at the end of this session, we say, okay, let's set up a quiz for the audience. I can just go before you know it, even while on this call, I can generate a quiz for us to answer. And it may just be difficult a lot, right? And if I want it simple, it can just give you some time and refine, and then you have something very difficult to do or very easy to do, as the case may be. Then, applies. they collect responses or notes into action. So there are just a lot you can do with Microsoft within this application. Let's say you are the secretary now, for example, and at the end of the day, you need to report of what we have had here on this call to your manager, right? And then you can start say, okay, you have gotten the report. Okay, draft the follow-up message with decisions and owner. Now you want to share on Outlook, or you want to share it inside Outlook to maybe that your manager to say, okay, see. From here, you can just send the prompt and say, okay, draft a follow-up. It will be able to know what to do. But most importantly, set your goals clear and your context, right? And then you can say presentation in Power. Okay, can you still hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear
Hello?
you.
Okay.
But it cracks. Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. So now, from what you have gotten from PowerPoint, you can say convert the approved summary into a clear presentation, and it will give you a beautiful presentation to build. Now that presentation, you can now go ahead. You can now go ahead to present it where it is required. Maybe in a boardroom, in a board meeting, wherever that is not required. Provided you have, review it and confirm it to be very well, you can go confidently and do your presentation fearlessly, come out gallant and happy that you have done great, right? You see how the workflows go. So sometimes it can work like that for you, just from one progression to the other. Prompt example match to the app. A good prompt should reflect the kind of work that app is meant to produce, right? These are just prompt examples, nothing really serious here, if I must say, right? Nothing really serious here. So I would basically say, as I have always said, actually, prompt qualities matters a lot. However, it still depends on the application. So, for example, now this one for Word now, right? It should be able to describe the document you want to create. In Outlook, your prompt should be able to reflect the message you need to send, like that, from Teams and what have you. Okay, responsible use and practical limit. What you need to remember as a user and common limitation. Now, one, you need to review every generated content before you share them or publish them, or before you present them as it is required. Two, check the source. When you are using this application, this tool, most of the in fact, all the responses it gives you, it to I know that cross organization will always put measures in place to avoid stuff like oversharing like this, right? And even avoid access to certain information that even when it gets to you, you will not be able to have visibility into them. Then common limitation is feature depth can vary by license, app surface, update level, and tenant rollout. So the last time when we are introducing Copilot, we talk about licenses at stretch at a lot of the time, the importance and what you can achieve with a licensed environment and not the one that is not licensed, right? So the depth, the feature can be different in both environments. A confident answer is not always a correct answer if the grounding is weak. Yes, very important. So in earlier, I would say you need to check the source, right? So if the source itself is not solid enough, you cannot be rest assured of the best answer or the correct answer that you are getting. The grounding may probably contain wrong information, and then it will give you a wrong response as well. So that is one great limitation it has. However, this has to be properly be looked at, and that is why you need people at the back end to actually watch and see to the governance of the whole grounding, how things are coming and going. Then poor data organization can reduce value into when the AI capability is strong. So everyday adoption, um, small habits, I would say, small habits every day matters. As much as a good starting point is to use Copilot for repetitive tasks, time-consuming work, whereby you can say summarize, draft and reformatting and what have you, enhance and all of that, right? Ensure that you are calm and confident. Try things out, right? Just small things, small things every day. You can try it with repetitive works to help it do it over and over again. You can, even from there, it tends to understand that, okay, this is the pattern you follow, it understands your handwriting and the rest. You should always only work with trusted sources, especially, Copilot is more or less a corporate tool. So, you know what that means when you're in a corporate environment, you work with caution. So when you find yourself using Copilot, not for practical, but for real life scenarios for your organization, be careful and ensure that you are using the right sources at all time. You have to refine this. I will keep saying, refine what you've gotten. Try to proofread. If it is correct at the end of the day, go with it, but do not assume. Never assume or just accept whatever that you are giving. Always give it always have that atom of doubt to what is generating for you. Pick the right application, use the Copilot surface that best matches the output you need, measure practical value. Yeah, you need to check the time that it would have taken you to do certain things and the time it took you. Okay, if I had to do it on my own, would I have been able to get it best like this, or this is even better, and all of that? Okay, these points before we go into practical, before we take our question and answer possible, if we have any, I would love us to have this key takeaway. Copilot works best when it shows up in the right Microsoft application, uses the right source, and most importantly, is reviewed carefully by the user. Okay, brethren, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I will say we've come to the end of this theory, the theoretical part of Microsoft Copilot in our everyday productivity application. At this point, if we have questions, reservations, please let us know. Juliet is permitted, is allowed, right? At this point, before we goes into the demo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If anyone have a question, please do ask. Do we have any questions based on what we've covered? Please let me know in the chat. Or should we go ahead with the practical part of this section?
I think that is a go ahead.
All right.
Yes, I think we can go ahead. We can go ahead, please.
All right, thank you.
Okay, somebody else is up. Read one. Okay.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Please, can I speak?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. I literally joined about 10 minutes later. I'm so sorry about that. So, nice presentation, Paul. So my question is, all this integration, right?
Yeah.
Is it that the Copilot, is it a licensed one or a free one? So, and then if I have the basic Office 365 license, does it come with it? Is this something I can use personally?
So Microsoft Copilot comes with all eligible Microsoft licenses, basically, right? However, when we're even talking about the limitation, we say the experience varies based on one licenses, if you remember. So as much as if you have an eligible Microsoft license, which is, let's say, E3, E5, Copilot comes with it, you still require the license, the standalone license, which is Microsoft 365. Copilot standalone license, it has its own standalone license. In some cases, or in fact, for more serious works, for example, now you need that license to make use of what's it called?
Studio.
Copilot Studio, for example, right? So the experience just differs, but basically when you have those licenses, you have access to Microsoft Copilot in some of the application. Are we good?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Moving on. Just give me a sec to share my screen. I need to clear my screen. I'm not using my second screen again. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes.
All right. So, as you all know, my name is Paul. And then my boss just sent me an email, my manager, right? He says, "Dear Paul," he attached a document. He said, "Dear Paul, please review the attached laptop replacement data before 3:30 p.m. Okay, this is 5:01. Okay, let's take this time to be 3:01, right? And then I have 29 minutes to review it. We need to prepare a brief management update as several departments have reported slow system performance, recurring support issues, and productivity delays. Kindly assist with the following." You see, a lot of requests for me to complete in 29 minutes to 1 hour. When you receive such an urgent email from your boss, you tend to panic at, you are just looking at this time, you tend to panic to say, what? The next 1 hour? Then the next thing you will be curious about is to see the contents of the attach. Okay, let's save this and open it and see what we have. File couldn't be saved. Save to OneDrive, no. Okay, let me open. It's strong. Give me a sec, please. I think it should pin my OneDrive. Oh. Okay, let me first of all open on the web and see. Okay. Okay, we are here. So now, look at this file. I have 13 departments here, and these are the affected users. How many numbers are these as a man? Look at laptops that, a lot of numbers, and I just have few minutes. You may not even have time to be looking at them one after the other, right? Okay, so we have some demo prompts here actually, right? And then I also have it on my notes. Demo. Okay. So now I have all of this, and the taxes. The tax shall say a lot of things. First thing it said is I should review. Then after the review, what's next? After the review, the question is, one, review the exact data and identify the department with the greatest need for laptop replacement. Summarize the key findings, including support tickets, volumes, downtime trends, and all of those. So I will first of all start by identifying the department with the greatest need for laptop replacement. So I can just take this and say, okay, review the laptop replacement data and identify the department with the highest laptop replacement. Consider support tickets, downtime estimated, this to this. Then summarize the key issues in the finding business in a simple business language and highlight the top priorities for management. So if I copy this now, another thing is Copilot, if you are using the if you have the license, it has what we call prompt coach that can help you improve your code. And even if you don't have that, right, Copilot can help you build the prompts. Like you can just send that email, that content now to a Copilot, ensure it's embedded in your stuff, in your environment, right? And say, okay, this is what I want to achieve. Give me the prompts to use, right? And it's most likely going to give you something like this. So I open my Copilot down here, you saw it. And even if I open my Excel sheets, if I open my Excel sheets and then okay, if I open my Excel sheets and then I come to blank page, as you can see here, I can come here and use Copilot, right? And then I think I have a data somewhere. Let me see. But let's quickly do this first. Now, it's structuring the management review for me. So it will take its time to do one analysis to the other, one analysis to the other, like that, to give you the best response possible. This is even in auto, right? You can use different models. Yeah. So while that is going, I don't know. Let's see if I can quickly get data somewhere.
Hi, Paul, are you still on?
Yes, yes, yeah. So this is voting. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay, yeah, I can. Yeah. I wanted
So
to be
it's
sure.
just gently. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Hi, I can hear you now.
Okay. So yes, it's just taking some time to just what I have given it to do for me. Okay. My network is even poor. Okay, so we are basically starting from Excel. And while we move forward, let's just check the rest of this. Secondly, say draft a concise management update covering the current situation, business impacts, recommended next steps. The next one is prepare a short leadership presentation that includes this, creating simple action plan, outlining, then you follow. So this is still taking its time to finish before we move on. I'm basically on two sides now to see which will complete fast. Okay, let's say I come here and I do this. This is just a network too. Okay, so let me quickly just do this. I am having a presentation in Nigeria M365 community today, being 8th of August 2026, covering Microsoft Copilot integration to our every productivity application for from technical people and newbies. It's a strong prompt to generate a very precise and detailed Word documents to share with them. Okay, so just let me yeah, there was an error, I know. So what am I doing from here now? To generate a prompt that I'm going to use, right? Strong prompts for generating your Word document. This is the prompt they have given me. Remember, Copilot gave me the prompt. I just told it what I want to do. It'll be too much, right? So from here, I can open my Word document because I said I want to use this for Word document, and then I will open blank. If I open blank, I can just come here and say, describe what you like to draft with Copilot. So usually it's first draft, don't forget. So if I send it, okay, let me use this guy here, and it's high. Still coming to this side. Okay. So let's just wait for a moment. Okay. You see it is already completing it for me. Meanwhile, over here, when it's filling, let's go to the web. Okay, yeah. So it's still creating it, right? I wasn't specific to say, give me a certain page. Maybe the best approach is, okay, you don't want to talk too much. Give me in 10 pages or in 20 pages so that it can be direct to say, okay, this is the range at which I am covering, right? So it is best you approach it that way. Otherwise, this is more or less very generic. It's going to give you a lot and a lot, right? And it's not always, best. Okay. I think this is my network. It's failing me. Okay, so now one thing Copilot does for you is after the draft, it doesn't automatically save. This is just 4 pages, right? Save. It gives you that opportunity to review what drafted, and then you can now go ahead to say keep or not. So Microsoft Copilot integration into everyday practical this, that, a summary and whatnot. Right? So it gives you everything. Now, let's say I want to now use this particular application, this particular write-up, right, for my presentation. I can save it locally or I save it to the cloud, right? If I save it to the cloud, I should be able to reference it directly without needing to import. Let me bring this to document. Yeah. Okay, so over here, if I come to Power Automate, if I come to PowerPoint, and then I open this and I do new, right? On new, you can see Ask Copilot at the topic, this. So if I come here and say, okay, just click on this Copilot here, I'll just wait for it to come up. Okay, cool. This can wait for a while. Or you see this guy here, you can use this one to say Ask Copilot. But here we are. So now, if you want to bring any file from your local device, you come here to click on this plus button to bring up your document. But if you need to bring the documents from your OneDrive, all you need to do is just to hit on the / and then it brings up the data in your environment, the one that you want to make use of. In this case now, I've not saved that in the cloud, otherwise it should have come up. So I'll just say root device, and then I come to document and I pick this up. New name, understand, and then new name. Okay, is in use. So I will have to close this first. So once this is closed, I bring it up. Now say prepare a visually striking presentation slide from the attached Word documents. Right, okay. So while that is being done, let's come here. Over here, you see the summary results. Customer service is the highest need department, followed by finance, sales, audit, and operations. Total requirement on this million, and we did gap and we did updated AI900 with live funding coverage, converted this to this, calculates approved budget as a percentage of total cost. Verification is this is this, that is that, and like that. Now, if you come back to my prompt, the second one says using the laptop replacement finding, paste below, draft a short management update explaining the current situation, business impact, budget, expectation, risk, and this recommendation, next step. Keep it clear, professional. So now, if I do this draft, right? Let me just copy everything so that I can. If I come here, this is one document, right? All I need to do, there's no follow-up question, right? Okay, see how to use update the device request table. This, that. I don't want it to update anything for me. So from here, I will just pick this. I'll just copy this, right? I take it to my Word. Now inside there, I'll paste it, right? Once I paste that, I will do this and create a comprehensive, using the laptop replacement findings pasted above. This time is above, right? Draft a this, and then I'll send. It's just taking its time, it will come up. Meanwhile, we have one that is loading here. Using complete, I'll turn the attached document into a Microsoft Copilot integrate for everyday procedure, into a policing group, and also visually. Then I'll use the document called Mercy ecosystem, and this. You see, here is referencing the source, and also here you can, there's still the source. So there are suggested prompts here, right? Now over here, you can say, make it more colorful and dynamic. You send again. What's wrong with my Copilot? So since my Word don't want to be responsive to me, I'll just go ahead and use the cloud. So that is another advantage. Your system can be malfunctioning. In some cases, you can always fall back to the cloud. It's always readily available for you. Okay. Close this and open it again. Using the wrong stuff. I think I was using the wrong account, as a matter of fact. So let's see how this one goes. So again, you have to be mindful of the account you are using to. Find this pasted above. Then I hit enter. Okay, so what it does is it created the document and then save it to my OneDrive directly. I think it's just a page or something. But then let's see what we have. Let me download it locally. I want to open it through the cloud. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's open. Oh, it's generated as an image I downloaded it as an image, but that's not what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
So it's still verifying the link to come up for me. So Copilot, the laptop replacement, whatsoever, it has given me responses, right? Overall, immediate attention to the top 5 departments will deliver the greatest reduction in operational risk, right? So I can now go ahead to say, okay, now that I have this, what is the top step? Getting to PowerPoint, create a slide leadership presentation based on the replacement with you in slides for overview of the issue, key findings from the data, budget impact, and all of this. So I can go ahead and just copy this. And then I will copy all of this as well. I'll copy this. I can
Hello, Paul. Are you still on? We can't seem to hear you. I can't still hear you. Let me check the chat. Hello, are you still on? Can you hear me yourself? Hello. For anyone joining now, you're welcome. we are actually demonstrating the productivity across the M365 apps, and we kind of lost the speaker because of network connection. So we are also getting back to him to see that we can hear him. Okay, I think he logged off to be able to log in again. So give him some time. I've shared our YouTube link, so you can actually subscribe and follow us on YouTube.
Hello?
Hi, Paul. You're
So
welcome.
sorry, my network just keep breaking me.
Yeah, I can see that. And we totally understand.
So, did you follow up to this point?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying that imagine the
No.
time.
I don't think, no, we don't follow up to this point. We were where you were
So
typing the prompt. So,
which prompt?
I mean, where you were trying to create this.
Whoa, wow. Okay. So at the end of the day, this is just a one-page presentation point that it gave me based on what I gave to it, right? And
Yeah.
over here, you can see Teams, Word, Outlook, Excel, PowerPoint. Now, over here, this is actually Graph API plus AI. So Graph API is what it's used to calculate the level of permission that you should have towards documents in an organization. If you don't have a login in an organization, you should not be able to have access to anything within unless it is permitted. And even when you are signing, you still need some level of permission to access certain applications. So what it uses is Graph. And then Copilot uses Graph plus AI knowledge or intelligence to actually um, help enhance your productivity. So just imagine, let's imagine I'm even a designer, right? Imagine how long it would take me to come up with such a design. Probably, I don't know. Just imagine the idea that I'll need to put together to come up with this. But within a twinkle of an eye, it gave me. And don't forget, the stronger your prompt, the better your results. Like this one on just a page. I mean, I said I was going to present a lecture in N365 community. Am I come with a page of slide? No. So in your own case, you should be able to be detailed. Give me numbers, certain numbers of slide, or a ranges of numbers of slide that you need, areas to cover, and what have you, right? So it should be able to give you more detail. So yeah, okay. So now, for example, in this case, remember, my boss sent me this, right? The first thing is say I should review the data and then get all of this information and summarize the key findings, which I got from here. And from here, I moved it to Word because it said, the emails also said, draft a concise management update covering um, this information. Now, ideally, I should have the Word document in place, but because of time, I had to just copy what it had given to me without further refining and anything to say, okay, for example, say if I even say create a Word document from the findings for me, right? So that it creates it. And if it creates it, what I would basically do with it is to move it here, attach it and say paste and then paste that. But what I did is just to paste what is giving it. I added my own prompt, which is this: create a 5 leadership, presentation skill. And if you check over here, it says done. I created a clear 5 slide leadership presentation skill. So I can now try to open this to see what it had given to me, right? On the first page, Apart from the network that actually delayed us, right? Apart from the network, I don't think if it's up to 30 minutes already, maybe the time it will not require you. Now, this meeting is probably in the next 1 hour, right? And your boss, my boss, gave me 30 minutes to complete the task. And I know that I'm not even a data analyst, and it will take me almost forever to finish up this task, especially as I'm in a hurry, right? All I needed to do is just to follow through one step after the other. And here we go. Here we go, right? And then 30 minutes time, I'm reporting to my boss now. Hello, boss. I have finished the presentation. What's up? It will now be like, okay, let's up on call and review quickly. Then in the next 20 minutes, we review, we correct, uh, and all. Then we now move it to management, and then we do our presentation. Is this a great deal? Now, look at the work process from Outlook to Excel to Word and then to PowerPoint, right? Now, it also gave me the notes. I wonder why it's not even popular. Ideally, as I'm going, it should even be showing up here on its own, but it's not like that in our own case today. Good for us, yeah? So now look at the Word document it gave me. How soon would I have been able to come up with something like this? How soon? And if you check these things, they are most times very accurate and correct because I'm working with facts and my prompts are accurate. So over here, let me brighten my screen. Over here, you can see recommended next steps. It gives them colored risk, all of these. You see the breakdown, the department that needs the highest, the downtime, and all. So I don't know if we get the point. You see the progression from one step to the other. Now, maybe I want to now assign this follow-up task to certain people within the organization. I can then go ahead to say, okay, you know what, you are this, and then I can go to my loop. We go to loop. If I go to my loop and I come here like this, I think the next one was the loop prompt. Create a simple team action plan for the laptop replacement project. Include tasks, this, that, and that. Now, if I copy this and I come to loop, which account is this? Continue. I'm not sure which accounts. Okay. This must be, oh, no, signing with a different account. And then I'll come here. Authentication. We need to reload the page and try. Yeah, let me try again. Loop. Okay, let me just continue. I'll sign out. Okay, I think we are still within time. Just a moment from now, we'll be done. I hope you can still hear me, please.
Yes.
Okay. Let me go on it again. Okay, so here we go. You see, I'm not even a loop person. So let me say laptop replacement. Laptop replacements, share your space. I'm not sharing with anybody. And then there's my Copilot. I know my Copilot is found. Seem not to have found it yet. Okay, here we go. So this is my Copilot, and then I will have to bring it out to Word document. So a backslash is enough for me. You see the document here. I can just pick it, either the PPT or the Word document. I can pick it up, and then I will follow up with my prompt to say, create a simple team action plan for the laptop development project, include task owners and blah, blah, blah. So I'll send. Okay, so generated content. So it will always tell you that generated content may not be what accurate. And yeah, you have reference this on title, which is this. What I would do to even bring it up here. Okay, I will be like, create it live for me on the open laptop replacement page. Let's see if it will do that. I'm not certain actually. Okay, I attempted to create a live action plan directly. However, what happened? But there was an error processing the request. Let's try again. Here is a ready to go action plan table. You can copy and paste. Okay, this time around, it's just helping me to copy this and then paste it. Right? If you want this table added directly to your loop page, please let me know. If you like it as a table checklist or another format, like you can just keep interacting with it, right? So this is what you have here. Okay, now owner, customer, and IT. Now in this place, I know that you can bring up people. Even within here, you can still use Copilot, right? You see, you can still use Copilot here to refine or just, okay. Okay, it's telling you that Copilot generated something. So yeah, you can do, I think it's hard, yeah. You can mention people here to say, okay, they'll be the owner of this task. I think if I save, they should be able to get email to access this particular application. This loop, let me do this at admin. Yes. So now they'll now know that, okay, this person is in charge of this, and this other person in the charge of that, and then they'll now come to check and look this one highest priority, like that. With just a mail requiring your urgent intervention, a task that would have taken days and weeks to complete within 30 minutes because you need to present it, you are able to come up with all of these. We have this, we have these, we have we have these. This is it. And then also have the loop and all. And this one that we just generated from scratch using the prompt. And then we have the other one. We also generated from scratch using a prompt in Word document. I wanted to bring up something, a data. I wanted to, but I can't tell if I have a sample data. I don't have a sample data, unfortunately. I would have been able to bring I would have been able to bring a sample data, let's say in PDF, a data that is so rough, a data that is so rough, not organized in PDF. Some of us, we want to look for third-party application that can help us convert them to Excel. And once you do, at the end of the day, some places will become pictures, so will not be editable. a lot of problem here and there, but Copilot will automatically help you, right? Generate, let's say, help generate, let me try it, help generate a raw data in Naira for finance sector. So if you bring up a PDF file, for example, it will automatically create headers, just do things for you, right? Populate the table accurately, made everything beautiful. I need one detail before I can fill in the sheet. What kind of data? Is it sale, expenses, whatsoever? Let's say bank transactions. Okay, bank transaction. It should be sampled and demo, not resource. We do not have the resource here. How many rows? 10 rows don't do, right? Or five rows. Which number do you want? Date, description, amount, and category. Yes, this is good. Now reply with your choice and I'll generate it. If I send, so, okay, so we have this here, right? You see, these now are automatic headers, right? If I say I don't want headers, I do not want headers. Continue without saving. Let it just be updating for me. You see, okay, I said 5 rows, and you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that the header is gone now. Now, I want headings, but not in table, because those headers were in tables, right? So you just keep tweaking, right? Restoring plan headings, and then let's see what it will give us. Yeah, you see now the headers are back, but this time around they are no longer in table. You can see my color code. My color code is red and black. Text should be white. It's not just this you can do. You can also do a formula, right? Okay, let me just try this. Add one more row. This time, name it total and calculate and make a sum of calculation calculation in the cell as in the cells required. You see now that I said my text should be white, my color code is red. You see that it only addresses the header, right? Now, for you as a person, you can say this is not accurate enough, right? You can say this is accurate enough. Okay, you want this body. Who is that? You want the body also to have that colors. You can do that. You see this total now is not properly positioned. You can say, you see this now, it automatically takes gives you the sum, and then it gives you the formula. You can say apply my color code to the rest of the cells, and move total to dates column. So this is where your human intelligence comes in. So if it's able to give you all of this, you see that this does not perfectly match, this color does not perfectly match, and all of that, right? Now, is either you manually do it or you keep on tweaking. Brethren, ladies and gentlemen, I think at this point, it is safe to say we have done our best. We cannot, always finish up everything that there is to finish up. Otherwise, there will not be need for us to gather again. So I would say, well done for staying true to this point. We may have questions we want to ask. Please, it's time to bring them on. And out of curiosity, you can just sit on your own. If you have the license actually, and if you don't, the minimal you can do with what you have access to, try and do your practice. Thank you very much. And I'll leave the floor for Juliet. Thank you for having me, Juliet.
Thank you very much for that. And thanks to everyone for staying true. I really, really appreciate this section, especially coming from data analytics background. So if you've analyzed data in the last 5 years, you will know the value of what Copilot is doing with data analysis in Excel, because a novice these days can simply bring data and analyze. Anyone can go to email and send. Anyone can use Loop these days. So the productivity that Microsoft 365 with the Copilot that is embedding for productivity is enormous. So thank you everyone for joining, and I hope you got value. I've actually shared a link to provide feedback for this section. Please click this link and let us know what you think about the section, so that it helps us to improve and also to serve you better, know the impact of what we're doing, how it's impacting your overall career growth. I've also shared our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and follow us. You can also join our WhatsApp community. Once again, I want to thank our speaker today. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for taking us through that detailed section. And we are looking forward to the next section that is coming up next 2 weeks. So it's bi-weekly sections. So I personally got value, and I hope we all got value by attending this section. I will also leave room for questions. If you have any question at all, please ask us. And if you are not even able to ask here, please email Paul. Paul, are you able to also drop your LinkedIn or something, so that if they have a question, they can drop an email or LinkedIn? You can also ask a question in the,
I will drop my
group.
LinkedIn.
Yes. All right. Any questions so far? Please fill the feedback form, subscribe, and also join us on WhatsApp so that you can get these updates when we are having next sections. All right. All right. Okay. So I have Mark raising up his hands. Please, do you have question, Mark? I have Mark and Austin, but let's start with Mark. Can you unmute your mic and ask?
Unmute your mic. Okay, 3 hands already. Okay, let's see.
All right. Mark, please, can you unmute and ask a question?
Your mic is allowed. You probably will get to me directly. Somebody I know. Don't worry.
Yeah. So Mr. Austin. Okay.
Hi, good evening.
Hello, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for the section. Mr. Paul. All right, so I have two questions. One of which is on the loop side. So you mentioned that you can mention people on loop. Like if you have a task for them, you can actually mention them. So how
Yeah.
to know if you are mentioning them? Is it only people within that tenant that you can mention, or you can also mention external people?
No. Unless you have the external people invited to your environment from Entra and then they accept the invitation. So it's strictly on your environment, not external.
Oh, okay.
You
Okay,
can
that's
confirm
good.
that actually, you can confirm that, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right, thank you. So the second question is on the Copilot side. So when you wanted to write your prompt on the loop
Yes.
interface, so I saw Copilot logo twice. There's one on the loop interface and there's one on the browser
Hold on.
interface.
Let me
So
share my screen. Let me share my screen.
okay,
Loop. Okay. So you say
yeah,
this
there's one and there's one at the browser
and
interface.
this. Yes.
Yes. So can
Okay.
both of them do the same thing? Can both of them still
Technically, yes. Now, where the differences come, if you check here, I don't think I have any okay, now, if you check here, right, this one comes with Edge browser. If you were here last week, you see me talked about it. This is just like a normal application you can as well download on your phone. Now, inside here, it depends on account that is signed in here. You have to sign in, right? If it's personal, you can use personal account, you can use work account. In this particular case now, it is work account. But if you come here, this one is personal account. I used to know the differences by the interface, right? I used to know the differences.
okay?
So over here, you see attached from cloud. Let me see. Okay, it's requiring me to sign in. Now, if you check this other side now, you do not have attached from cloud. You only have add image or files, you know. So
Okay.
this one is personal, right? So if you can bring up your file from OneDrive, you see now that I say I attach a file, it takes me to my OneDrive, right? And from my
Yeah.
OneDrive, if I'm able to bring up my attachment, for example, and then I send my prompt, it should be able to do the same thing. If not necessarily, maybe not directly in the application, right? But is able to read your screen. Like I showed it in the last class we had, when you are, you know, even with this, your personal, right? If I come here and restart this now, is able to read my screen that I am on LinkedIn page. My battery is running low. I am on LinkedIn page, right? Don't worry, I will join with another system. I am on
Okay.
LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn page. And then this. Although, if it does not have access to resetting things, if you say it should go there, it will not be able to bypass it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. While we take the next question, he's trying to join with his second email. Okay, Mr. Mark is back as well. Okay, Paul is in. So
Okay.
I will take
Yes.
Okay, Mark. Yeah, your mic is unmuted. Please go on with your question.
Paul and Juliet Agbo, you people are doing very well, and I really appreciate your work. I need to commend your effort, and I believe that as we continue to follow the teaching and the lecture, I believe that any question that I may have in the future, I'll be able to solve them. But right now, I don't have any question. I just want to appreciate you people. Thank you. God bless.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
very
that
much,
feedback.
sir.
Kinsley, do you have a question?
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, a quick one. I just want to confirm how can the Copilot have access to a Google Sheet, like a link to a sheet, or it has to be
No.
yeah.
So Copilot is tied to Microsoft. Now, where it becomes dicey is if you have a Copilot license, for example, right? And you create an agent can be published even outside of Microsoft environment, but then that requires some level of technicality and expertise within Microsoft 365 Copilot area, right? So now, if you are using it for just your normal everyday work, it can't go outside of your environment for any reason at all. It stays within your environment. It's even within your environment, you don't have access to everything because it respects the permission that is tied to your account. Okay. So if you must bring a Google Sheet to Copilot, then it means that you have to save the file locally or anyhow, move it to your OneDrive. That is only when you can access it. Otherwise, you will not be able to go out. The only thing that can go out is an agent that is built to go out, right? Not just any agent. As a matter of fact, agents use intelligence of other AI. There's what we call Graph. Graph API. They use that connection. They can connect with Gemini. They can connect with ChatGPT. There are level of integration that you can make with Copilot agent to advanced agents, right? There are levels. You can even integrate to your WhatsApp and what have you. But saying call Microsoft Copilot inside Microsoft, no, it stays and dies within your environment.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Paul, and thank you to everyone that asked the question. All right. Thanks for that.
Thank you so much, Juliet.
All right. In the absence of any question, I want to thank everyone for joining, and I look forward to seeing you all in our next section. And most importantly, you getting value and using Copilot for your everyday productivity. Have a good day.
All right. Bye.
Bye.